kind of your, I guess we'll start with you, Brian. What are kind of your just overall thoughts about the movie? And you want to give a little brief description since you're really good at it?
So a quick brief description about the Crazy Rich Asians is basically about
So if
a
you
couple.
if you haven't watched the movie, you shouldn't listen to this. But if you already
Oh yeah,
watched
spoiler alert!
Oh, exactly,
to this
yes.
movie. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically about a couple where the female in the relationship, right? She doesn't know that her boyfriend is extremely
wealthy,
wealthy.
Extremely rich.
back in his hometown, right?
Singapore.
Yeah.
Yes, Singapore. And basically she's trying to get his family's approval
Yeah.
because knowing their tradition in China, they want everybody in the family to be wealthy. They want everyone to be like smart and like everyone like has to be well known in the culture.
Yeah.
But with the female, the main character, Rachel Chu,
Yeah.
she's a professor at a
I think it was
NYU.
NYU. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
NYU.
NYU,
School,
New York
yeah.
University,
Engineer.
as a
Yeah.
what was her
Studies
economics?
Something like that. Yeah, I
Economics.
think it was
Something
economics. Yeah,
Economics.
right, yeah.
Yes. And so basically, she goes to China for her boyfriend's brother's wedding,
Yeah.
and
Well, but
basically-
is she in the movie Chinese or something? I think she's from China too. No?
she is from China,
I think
but
so, yeah.
but she was born and raised, or not? Yeah, she was born and raised in America.
Yeah.
This
in
person
America,
is
yeah.
from Singapore.
Yes.
Right,
The
right.
actor.
Yeah.
Nick.
Nick
So
Young.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's already a back thing. So.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I guess my first question is for all of us, what was kind of like your overall thoughts before going into the movie? Like, what do you expect before going to the movie, and did it change afterwards? Like, do you enjoy it more, or you enjoy it less, and all of that stuff? Who wants to start off?
I mean, for me, I didn't have any kind of history about this movie. I just
Yeah.
entered into the cinema with a like blank page, and I was surprised with this because first of all, I was surprised by all the cast that was Asian. So that's like a first time thing that I've seen at least, and I really like that. And I also like that, for example, here, women were like more powerful.
Mhm.
You know, for example, that the main character was already a professor in economics that gave her, like a better perspective and like a better status.
Yeah.
So I really like that too. But I felt that the relationship between the families was a little complicated. Like I feel that applies to other ethnicities as well.
Yeah.
It's not only like Asian, but of course, the parents always want the best for you. So I think it was good.
It's good. How about you, Brian?
Yeah.
For me, before I went to go watch the movie, I thought it was gonna be like a typical drama
Yeah.
where like everybody's crying in the movie.
That's what I was thinking too.
Everyone's gonna be like all lovey and sad and stuff. But after watching it, I really enjoyed it because it wasn't just like drama. It was a mix between comedy and drama, which made it like a lot better.
Right.
Because you were the feeling, or like the feeling inside you wasn't like only sad, but it was also like enjoyment and like
Yeah.
other kind of feelings too as well.
Yeah. For me, I guess I had actually, to be honest, I actually had no expectations for this movie. I didn't actually really even wanted to see it. Like I thought it was just gonna be just like normal, like a regular.
What's
just
a
like
regular?
I mean, maybe just like a regular Korean drama or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was just like, whatever, But I mean, I thought it was cool that, they got to have an all Asian cast. I think they said about the last all Asian cast movie was the Joy Luck Club, and I never actually got to see that. But I'm glad that they were able to shoot this movie. So I had really low expectations about this
And
movie.
this is a Hollywood movie too.
Yes. And so going into the movie, like I said, no expectations. I was very, very surprised. I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I would. So I really, really enjoyed it in that regard. So I guess for you guys, what was your favorite character? Who was your favorite character in the movie?
It's hard to tell. I have too many. I like Rachel.
Yeah.
I feel that she wasn't the typical, pretty girl and all that, but she was also smart. She was very well spoken, and she was like funny as well. Like she didn't just lose her personality throughout the movie, but she's like fight for that.
Yeah, she
But
got stronger and
for-
stronger
yes.
towards the end. Yeah.
Yeah, and she said clearly that regardless whether or not she had money, you know, she had succeed throughout her life because of all the things that she's done
Yeah.
along with her mom. So
Yeah.
I really like that. I like powerful females.
Nice. Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
I actually really liked Gopek, which
yeah.
was
Same
the
here.
friend,
Whoop, whoop.
which was the friend of Rachel
Mhm.
Chu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She made the movie like 10 times funnier.
Yeah,
Like, it was
exactly.
just her comedy like quotes were like made me like more interested into the movie because I was just sitting there and I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be like a love story.
Yeah.
And then she popped up making like throwing a whole bunch of like jokes and stuff,
Yeah.
and yeah, just
What was your favorite scene from her?
my favorite scene was probably when she drove Rachel Chu to
Yeah.
Oh,
Nick
yeah,
Young's
that
grandma
part, yeah.
party.
Yeah.
And yeah, and she just pulled out a whole bunch of clothes from the trunks and like, oh, which one's the best for this event and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
she's
Yeah.
I
like,
was
do you want to
oh
come
my
in?
God.
No, fine. Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
No.
Especially,
Okay.
especially
Yeah.
the part when they got up to the gate
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and then the guards came up and she was like, oh my god,
yeah.
what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. That same with me for Brian. Like Gopek was, I think, the highlight of the entire movie. Actually, I mean, I enjoyed the other parts, like the romantic comedy, the romantic part. But like with her being in it, I think it was just like 10 times better.
Yeah, I think she
Just having
balanced out.
having comedy balance as well. And I was surprised that freaking Ken Jeong was in there because, like I said, I didn't know anything about the movie, so. All of a sudden, Ken Jeong popped up. Remember, as the dad for
Gopek,
Gopek?
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Yeah, and yeah, it was just hilarious. He wasn't there for very long, but I just thought he was really, really funny.
Yeah.
Like this, just like how he just popped up and just like did random
Yeah,
stuff.
like his first like lines too in the movie was like him pretending to have an accent,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah,
is making him
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
And then at the, he was like, I'm just joking, I don't got one.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
was funny too.
Yeah, so I think Gopek was one of my favorite characters. What was your?
I think she's a rapper. In real
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
in real life
who
she's a
lives
rapper
in
too.
New York,
Yeah.
So I think that explains a lot why she has such a like strong
Yeah,
character and like very kind of spicy
yeah,
like humor.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So what's one like going a little bit deeper? What's one takeaway that you have from the movie, or that you learned from the movie? Like what did it kind of teach you?
One at a time.
Yeah, one at a time. What I'm thinking.
I don't know.
I would
you
say
tell.
Okay,
Oh,
right,
okay.
right,
I would
yeah.
say
Brandon.
Yeah,
I would say like
Nana?
yeah, Brett. Yeah,
I would say like different cultures or like different countries in general have like a different mindset for each like family,
Yeah.
I guess, or tradition.
yeah,
Like traditions for each family are different, like because like Americans like they want what's best for their children.
Yeah.
In China, they want them to be successful
right.
and like the ways that they want them to be,
Yeah,
instead of having their own like free life. They want them to be like extending their family name or
right.
keeping the family wealthy to keep like everyone like happy and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I got from the movie.
Okay, that's pretty good and pretty insightful.
How about you, Russell?
I think for me, like, I think for me, it's just like whether your family likes you, whether your significant other's family likes you or not. I think you have to stand up for yourself, because you know, like your family, whether it's on your side or whether on your significant other's side, they're gonna want what's best for their children. So, like for me, it's like you have to stand up and show them, you know, like why you're good for that significant other. Like you can't just back down. Like she was like, you know, going head and toe, you know, towards the mother, you know, and be like, hey,
if I were,
you know,
if I
stand
were
my
her,
ground.
I probably already would have.
You probably already
Quit.
left.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
probably went
like,
back
good
to
luck
US.
with that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rachel
yeah.
Chu, she did stand her ground.
Yeah, and I like that. Yeah, you know, you need to stand your ground sometimes and be like, hey, no, you can't, you know, you can't stop, you know, me from loving who I want to love, you know. And I think like it's a big story that I tell everybody. It's like you're the only person that's going to live that life. So, you know, your parents can tell you what to do or what not to do, but they're never going to live your life.
Right.
So, you know, like why, you know, you can listen to them, get advice, and they can help you, but you're ultimately living that life. If you don't not happy, if you don't like that, then why are you living it, you know? So for me, it's like I'm glad that Rachel stood up.
Yeah.
So that's why,
Yeah,
that's one of the takeaways.
She
I
didn't
got.
have to go to like a certain extent to please somebody else.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. As long as she's pleasing, you know, what was his name? Nick Young?
Yes.
Yeah, if she's pleasing Nick Young, that should be all that really matters, you know?
I think for me the biggest takeaway is that regardless of the culture your background is from or whatever, I think we're all humans at the end of the day, and we just should care about other people's like happiness and well-being. And if you see someone else happy with with someone else too, then we should let foster those things.
Right. Yeah.
And we're all humans, and I think we all deserve a chance
Yeah, I agree.
regardless.
Yeah. What, Brian, what's one of your surprises in the movie? Like, was there anything that surprised you?
Nothing really.
Yeah.
Like after watching like probably the first 30 minutes,
Yeah.
I already knew it's like, oh, this movie's gonna be really good because of
Yeah.
the mix between drama and comedy.
Yeah.
And I also really liked like the characters that they put like with Ken Jeong and Gopik.
Yeah.
Like, I just liked how they made the storyline like more like interesting and more like pulling like the watchers towards
Yeah.
the scenes and like getting more and more into like involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Any surprises for you?
I think for me the only surprise was how hard was to convince the mom
Yeah.
that Rachel was actually good for her son. She was very like
Yeah.
stubborn, saying that she had such a bad family history, and she didn't not only did it once, but like she told her like twice that she wasn't worth it enough. So I think I was kind of surprised. I thought she was gonna be okay after one time.
Yeah.
But she was like, no, you are not good for my son. You can be here, but you're not worth it.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that was a little annoying too.
Nice. I think my surprise was actually Keena Grannis.
Oh
I
yeah.
I didn't know that. She just like popped up and sang the song for the wedding. I was like, wait a minute, I know her. That's freaking Keena Grannis.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool, because I didn't realize that she was actually in the movie at all. So that was one of my surprises.
If you don't know who Keena Grannis is, you should go and check it out.
Yes, check her up on
She's
YouTube. She's
great.
really cool. I remember we were having a conversation earlier about this, Brian, and the ending. And we were talking about the ending should have been different. So,
Yes.
dude, what was the ending that you were thinking that it should have been?
I
know, actually, what was the ending, and then what was the ending that you thought it should have been?
The ending that was in the movie was, so basically, Rachel convinced like Eleanor, the mother
Yeah.
of Nick Young, to pass down the family ring, or her grandmother's ring, right? She passed it down to Rachel, or to Nick Young to give to Rachel Chu, and they ended up being together and getting married.
Well, not getting married yet, but at least engaged.
Well, they had the party and everything.
Yeah, they had a party, yeah.
and then happily ever after.
Yeah.
And then the ending that I wanted, or I thought that was gonna happen, was when she showed up, the mom, when they played mahjong.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna leave, go back to New York, and do her own life, and Nick Young was just gonna move on
Yeah.
and like live his life live like what's that word?
Carelessly?
Not
Not
that, but
carelessly, no.
like having like a grudge against her mom for ruining his relationship.
Right.
So like he's probably gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna carry on the family thing because you did this to me in my life.
Yeah.
You don't support what I do and this and that.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought was gonna happen. Like it was just Rachel and Nick Young were gonna live their separate lives.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
gonna move on.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think because I know it was based on a book, so they probably had to extend it like that. But I thought with Brian as well, I thought that would be a better ending where they would separate. Because when Rachel Chu was talking to the mom and doing the mahjong, it was a very powerful statement. Like, you're going to regret, or no, you're going to remember me for years later on when your son marries someone else and have children. You're going to remember that I was the one that, sacrificed it.
Until
and
now
did
that happened.
Yeah, and if that ended like that, I think that would have been so much more
yeah.
powerful. Like sometimes there isn't a happy ending, and like, sometimes you have to show that other side. And I wish they kind of took that other step. It's not to show a happy ending. Be like, sometimes, you separate and that's it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sometimes
Yeah.
things like that happen in life.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So
it isn't always a happy ending.
yeah. So I guess overall, then, what do you give your overall rate, or was final thoughts if there was anything bad you didn't like, and then your overall rating?
I like how they show a lot of like food.
Oh
from
yeah, the food was
Singapore.
good. That was
Like
actually
they
really cool.
showcase a lot of things from Singapore, and I think that's important too.
Yeah,
You know, not only just the characters, but just the place where they were.
yeah.
It was nice.
Mm-hmm. So
What would
overall
you-
rating,
Yeah.
1 out of 10.
8.
Eight?
Ooh, okay,
Okay,
it's nice. All right, all right.
Okay, for me, what I really liked about the movie was like the wedding scene. Like I thought it was like a beautiful touch to the scenery and everything in it with the like the water going down the lane.
That was
and
cool. Yeah, that was really
that,
cool.
And then I was close to crying on that part too. I was
Yeah.
close. Like when Rachel Chu and Nick Young were like looking at each other, and then he was like, or they were saying like "I love you" to each other,
Uh-huh.
and she started crying. I was like, "Oh, that was nice. That was beautiful."
Wait, so did you cry at
No,
any
I
other
didn't.
parts of the movie?
Not really.
Yeah.
I like maybe like cheered like once, but it wasn't too bad.
it wasn't too
I
bad.
cried
It wasn't
throughout the
yeah.
too
movie.
bad.
Yeah, oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, that was probably like my favorite scene though.
Yeah.
But like overall rating, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10.
Hey,
It was better than I thought though.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was better than I thought. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. One thing for me that I thought was kind of bad. Well, I mean not bad, but I think of kind of like a plot hole was they never showed the dad. They just kind of gave an excuse, like, oh yeah, the dad is away on a trip, but it's just like, I think they just did that for a reason. Like they
Maybe
didn't
a
want to.
sequel.
Maybe a sequel, but they didn't really show the dad character for Nick Young. They're all they didn't even show the dad in the beginning. Remember,
Mhm.
in the beginning with the hotel, they're like, "Oh, call the dad," and the dad bought the entire hotel or whatever. But they never actually showed him.
Well, maybe that was the idea, you know, an absent dad that was very wealthy, but he was never there.
I guess, yeah, maybe, yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah.
even show anything, yeah.
That's why the mom was very strict.
That
She
could be
didn't have the
too.
support of the dad.
Right, right. So basically, they're showing the dad is stupid. Basically, it's just the dad is away and he's, just working and just making money, but he's not really even taking care of the family, like, emotionally, and all that stuff. So it's basically showing like the dad. Maybe you have typical, Asian culture or something like that where the dad is kind of always away, not
I
showing
mean,
emotions
there
and
are
stuff
other
like-
cultures where
Oh yeah,
they-
maybe like other cultures
So
as
probably
well. yeah,
like probably basically talking about like the woman has to stay home and take care of the house and
Uh-huh.
the children while
Yeah.
the father's away making the money to support everybody.
but- right.
So that's probably thinking like that's what they were trying to do
Yeah.
possibly.
I guess so. Yeah, that's one of the things I didn't really like. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. I probably give the movie an 8. It was definitely better than I expected. So,
Did you cry?
did I cry? No, like I said, that powerful scene when Rachel did the mahjong, I thought that was really good because
With
she
the
was like,
mahjong? Oh.
yeah, the very end, the mahjong scene. Yeah, I think my mom cried too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
She actually cried multiple
Everyone
times. on
cried.
that
She
one,
cried
yeah.
at the wedding scene as well. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Oh, and it was the scene where Rachel was talking to the mom.
The mahjong too, right?
No, it wasn't mahjong, but it was the mom was like, "You will never be enough for my son," or something like that.
Oh,
Remember at the stairs?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "You'll never be enough for my
That's so messed
son."
up.
Yeah.
I know.
She came all nicely.
Yeah.
You're never gonna be.
Yeah. Especially the grandma too. She
Oh,
was
yeah,
like, "You
yeah,
have
yeah.
a beautiful like face structure, beautiful
Yeah.
nose," and at
Yeah.
the end she was like, "You're not enough for my son. Get out of here."
Well, I'm pretty sure because the mom manipulated.
Yeah, that's
the mom
true, too.
manipulated the
Because the
grandma.
grandma looked super nice throughout the thing.
Yeah,
in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you expect a sequel? I heard that there's going to be a sequel.
They've
so.
announced already making a sequel.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'm gonna read
sequel.
the book actually.
Yeah, so I heard a little tidbit. I heard that the sequel will be based more on what's her
Astrid?
name? Astrid. So the sister of
Nick Young.
Nick Young.
Nick Young, and it's gonna be actually the main focus will be her and how she met
Harry
again.
Sheen Jr.
Again, spoiler alert. She's going to be meeting what's his name?
Charlie Wu.
Yeah, Charlie Wu at the end, which is Harry Shum Jr.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting.
That was a surprise as well. For
Yeah,
me.
and then that's going to be that's supposed to be the main focus. Actually, the Rachel Chu story was actually kind of like more of a side story. So I thought that was very interesting. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. It probably won't be for another couple of years or 2 or 3 years until the next movie comes out. But I hope it does well, and I hope they get to do more movies like this.
Yeah, and I feel that this type of film pushes other ethnicities to something similar. Maybe Colombian movies or all, I don't know, Filipino, you know, it kind of shows that you're able to do that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be always complying with Hollywood standards.
I'm pretty sure, Russell, you told me about how for the Crazy Rich Asians cast, they wanted to make the main female a white female, right?
Oh yeah, yes, I remember that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I'm
How
glad
did
that
you-
they didn't do that.
How did you know that?
I was reading a news article and like they were pitching the movie, and one of the movie studios was like, "Well, we can't really, you know, pay for the movie unless like the main character is white, you know, to make it more relatable to the American audience or something like that." And he said no. He was like, "I'm not."
That's a good thing they did that too.
Yeah.
'Cause that would defeat the whole purpose of Crazy Rich Asians.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just like it's completely different than having, you know, Asian American and then a completely just a white person doing it. It's like a lot of the themes wouldn't work out correctly. So
You wouldn't be able to go Crazy Rich Asians.
exactly. It'd be like Crazy Rich Asians plus a white person.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it wouldn't work. So
Alrighty.
yeah, so we recommend watching the movie. You know,
Definitely check it out.
yeah, definitely check it out.